સંસ્કાર છે. તો સંસ્કાર કોને કહેવાય કે બદલે ને સંસ્કારનું ઇંગ્લિશ શું કરીએ સાહેબ? ફોલો નો સંસ્કારનો વચ્ચે જ ના કહેવાય. એનું ઇંગ્લિશ થઈ શકે એવું નથી. એનું ઇંગ્લિશ ના થઈ શકે. અમને તમે સમજશો એનું અમે કહીશું એટલે સમજી જશો કે ઇંગ્લિશ નથી થાય. સંસ્કાર કોને કહેવાય? સંસ્કાર સમકાર એટલે લાઈફની બધી એક્ટિવિટીમાં જે નોર્મલ છે એ સંસ્કારી કહેવાય. ફોલો in all the activities of the life, in all relative living, in all the relative aspects, one who is balanced is samskari. Do you follow? That is exactly what disturbed Arjun. That is exactly what disturbed Arjun, because he had no knowledge of this thing. Now, why he had no knowledge? Because he had that vision that is required for such a knowledge, to have such a knowledge in this way, that vision was not there. You see? And that is how he got puzzled. And even though before Lord Krishna, with Lord Krishna, lifetime, and yet in such a puzzled state, Lord understood. He explained the situation and what he ought to be as samskari in any situations, not in this such a situation where you should be very alert and you got disturbed. You see, at such a point of a dilemma, nobody can wait for you. You'll be finished because war is declared now. That is not been declared, is different thing. But that is declared, you have come already. And you are trying to see against whom you are fighting. What is it? At this stage, life is like that. Right? Because you follow? So that is samskar. Samskar means samkar. This means all activities were balanced. Balanced. In any of the activity, relative activity, how can one be active in activity and at the same time balanced? That is extremely difficult. That is the puzzle. And that is what Lord Krishna explained to Arjun, the state of such a balanced state human being. Now, a human being with a balanced state, how can one be balanced in any of the situations, in all the situations? Only instrument that one has is intellect. What? That's all over the world. Intellect is the only measurable instrument one has with which one has to be balanced. And that instrument itself has to be stable. Unless the instrument is stable, how can one be balanced? And one is one with the instrument. But that was subject to time factor. It was at that time it was so, but for Arjun it was difficult. For ordinary folk, how can it be easy? And in those times it was so. Sanjay? And Lord Krishna explained. Time came, he surrendered, having realized the limit of his own understanding power that was intellectual based. And surrendered. Beyond. And then, but please show me your ultimate form. So ultimate form was shown. And he was horrified, not in the sense of stature or size, but in the form of that absolute divinity, in such a body, with such powers unfolded within, of infinite and perpetual nature, and yet living with everybody like friend and all that. Nobody can understand what is such a power, immense powers within. You have followed?
Yes.
See, this is the thing. And that means he saw the form of that infinite state within, in such a body, without egoism. Live body minus egoism is the absolute form in this limited frame. You follow? Can you follow? Live body without egoism. That is what he is saying. But for the people to understand such a form and be fearing in life, so that one is not disturbed in difficult situations, one has to be shown or explained these forms in stature, with so many heads, so many hands and all these things, stature. You see? If they are not afraid, then they will do havoc. If there is no fear of God, then people will make havoc. That is the greatest fear. One has to be, so long as one is ignorant. No, God does not have. It is for those who have no realization of the God and God's form and God's potentiality and powers, infinite powers. Unless one has not realization of that, one has to be afraid of God. That means keeping fear of God in mind and live the life. Otherwise, it will be havoc. If all these cocks and everything are removed, nothing, what will be the state? Just cocks removed, full freedom, we don't want these things. Let us get full freedom. What will be the state, Dada? If cocks are removed, chaos. So they need, what I mean to say, people and the stages of development wherein one has to rely on God's and God's power, divine, to be blessed with such powers and to have an easy life, smooth life. One has to be fearing of God and God's powers. You follow? That is how it is shown. But he who, being such a best friend of yours throughout the life, and I never knew you were of such a stature. To know that you have to have a vision. To know that you have to have a vision. You see? So God is in every creature, whether visible or invisible. But not in man-made creation. Do you follow? You? God is in every creature, whether visible or invisible. There are so many creatures, means creatures, what we call. You see? Why I say creature? Because a human mind and intellect is associated with all the creative activities. You see? All creative activities. Though ultimately everyone has to rely, oh, after all, God is God. God has created us all and equal. Right? That you have to keep. If you don't keep that, you see. So there were times when emperors and kings became God. It didn't happen. It can happen. Everything can happen. You see. So that was the vision. Some scar. વિક્રમ સમજી ને તું અહીંયા જ હતી ક્યાં રહેતા હતા તમે એટલે લોસ એન્જલસમાં જ છો ને અચ્છા અને 18 જુલાઈ રાખ્યું છે મેરેજ અહીંયા જ રાખ્યું છે વેરી ગુડ મારો આશીર્વાદ છે અને આ સંસ્કાર આપણા એવા છે એટલે મેરેજ બોન્ડમાં આવીને both of you will experience your independence, though dependent on each other throughout life. That is the state. It is not this lip movement that can give independency to ladies. No. See the things. How people lose their own independent aspects on so many man-made, man-created laws and all these things as per social requirements. It is true, it is not bad. But there are certain limits within which, the frame of which, everybody has to be understood. You see, it is not that ladies are inferior, females are inferior to male. No, not at all. No. Both have equal right to realize the mighty powers of God. There is no difference. You see? Look here, in times, બહેનોથી શાસ્ત્રો ના અડકાય કે છે, વેલો ના વંચાય, કેવી જાતની વાત કરો છો? એ બધી એ અમુક એની પાછળ કારણો હતા અને વ્યવહારની ગોઠવણી, there were rules which were to be followed and those rules were made into permanent laws. Rules subject to times and periods are made laws. What sort of things are this? You follow? This is how both have equal right to realize the mighty and blissful, total blissful state of God, and that is within, not without. You see, that is within, not without, and therefore for God and search of God, and to be in search of God, one has to go within. One has not wandering with the outside to search God. Within means one has to go to one's own heart, deep at the core of the heart. And Jesus is there. It is not that Jesus has died. No, Jesus himself said that we are there, and the resurrection is said in this sense. You see? Vision. Do you follow? And the location of Jesus and Jesus' life and living is in the heart. And that is how he lived in his times. And as a living example, he was before everybody, as a live example before the world, as to a human being with heart, how he is. There cannot be any enemy to him. You see? You see? That means there cannot be any side-taking aspects when one is at heart. Though one has to live in the life amongst so many contradictory situations, yet by heart one can be so. You see? But times are very difficult today. Times are so difficult that to keep principle-wise such a living by heart is so hard because of the hard and complex times that nobody can trust anybody. Oh, very difficult situation. Unless there is a life form in whom you can have a trust by the very vision. Oh, okay, that's it. Unless that vision, and that form can be only a self-realized state in its total experience, though live, yet not any of the physical aspects before you, though he is before you, speaking with you, talking with you, and in all the relative activities which everybody has. And yet he is not in any of these activities. Totally free, like a dried coconut kernel from the shell. Gutto. આપણે ગાંધીને કરવા જઈએ છીએ ને આત્મા ખુશ થાય છે એનું, કારણ કે અંદર ભગવાન ખરા છે, ભગવાન છે. Vikram, being a doctor, now we will have to do research on this real side, and we will give you vision for that. Okay? You are in Massachusetts, no? We might be there for 2 days. We'll come, and we'll introduce you one gentleman there. He's a structural engineer, civil engineer, professor. He's a visiting professor there. You come there. Okay? And you as a doctor. You to Massachusetts જવાનું? એટલે બોસ્ટન નજીક ને? શું આશીર્વાદ છે, જાઓ તમે જવું હોય તો. તમને અહીં તો પછી ઉઠવાનું મન નહીં જાય તો ચાલુ નહીં, પણ આ બધા બીજા વાતો બહુ કરવાની છે મારે. આજે ખાસ આવ્યા છે બધા સ્પેશિયલ વર્ક. આ લોકોને જ્ઞાન આપેલું ને, એ લોકો આવ્યા છે બધા વાત કરવાની. ના કશો વાંધો નહીં, બેસજો, બેસવાનું જ છે. પણ તમને અમારે આશીર્વાદ આપી દીધા. હા જાઓ. ઓકે બસ થઈ ગયા, ખૂબ આશીર્વાદ છે. જાઓ. ના બહુ વાતો હતી, સંસ્કાર છે. બેસો. ચા પીધી. So come. Very nice to meet you.
Met me.
Oh, great.
He told me to. And my friend is Gnani.
So now
Alex. Ananda.
Ananda.
I don't know. Excuse me.
Spelling?
Spelling Anand, like in Ananda. That was something. The name was given to me by Swami Durgananda.
So it's a name given.
Yes.
It is not the state.
Oh, not quite yet. You would have known.
But having name also is good.
Well, it helps. To start. It starts.
But unfortunately, in our country, you see, people without cash, they are difficult. So for them, life also is difficult unless the cash is there. Is it so?
Same here.
Is it so? Everywhere. So we have got name Lakshmi Chand. Lakshmi Chand means wealth, but he does not have anything. But name is there.
That's true. I'll get the wealth later.
Happy to meet you.
Maybe I have a big safe.
Friends, Shashikant. Surname? Shah. Resam. Achha, you met him?
Yeah, I went with the.
Yeah, he was telling me.
Oh, okay.
He talked about you. Yes, I remember.
Oh,
Yes.
Kind, and he was kind enough to
Right.
listen. What do I know?
You are aware.
I live in Venice. And he lives in
Hollywood, yeah.
not far.
We go to the Banana Temple in Hollywood,
Which
the
temple?
Ramakrishna.
Hare Ram, Hare Krishna. Ranjit bhai, Dada is where is she? Son?
She's a beautiful painter, an artist, very famous.
Very good. Sculpting?
No, painting.
Painting only.
Angels.
Okay, very good.
Dadaji, when you're talking about Arjuna,
You can be seated.
Okay.
Nita, not Nibi.
okay.
the Arjuna Dada with Krishna,
Right.
at that time, because his consciousness was not, you mentioned that the consciousness of Arjuna at that time was not where the pure soul, so he had issues or problems
Yeah.
in entering
Mhm.
the battle.
Oh.
But see, the problem was that he had siblings, that he was having to destroy. So in the context of now, we always have the same battle
Right.
in life. So how where do we draw the line, because a lot of times we have to stretch the
No, we'll come to that. I'll tell you. Separate. Because that will be separate issue with you only. You see? And in short, I will tell you. It's the crux, basic point. That means to live in life with line drawn. That is bordering line. You see? dissociating line.
Yeah, I see.
You follow? But that line is not physical. Do you follow? And yet it is there. And the subtlety and the divinity and the powers of what is within are here. Do you follow?
Right.
It's the line of demarcation between the relative and the real. Now, unless you have got the knowledge of the relative perfectly, as well as your own knowledge as real, which is perpetual, you see,
Right.
with all the infinite powers, infinite reason, infinite knowing, knowledge, knowing powers, you see, that is there. So knowledge in relative terms is based on intellect. The sharper the intellect, sharper the knowledge. Is it so? Which for ordinary people to understand is difficult, because the sharpness of an intellectual sharpness is such that it surpasses the ordinary level, and the ordinary level comes to know of it at a much later time, according to one's own state of intellectual being within. You see, that is intellectual power, but it is physical. Do you follow? Now, physical in the sense that this science of medicine, suppose they want to have, no, they cannot do that. It is physical in the sense that it is part and parcel of the whole physical existence. Do you follow? But unfortunately, this is a puzzle for all times, in right times as well as such adverse times. But in right times, for the solution of that puzzle, everybody tries hard to solve the puzzle through the medium what one has. With what medium one would try to solve the puzzle? Do you follow? Oneself is puzzled in that puzzle state, and puzzle all the puzzlesome all the time throughout the life. But knowing that this puzzle is making us dependency on so many things, because as puzzle wise we are dependent, that understanding grows. That is, the bonded state is getting understood in life, all the facets of life, any life, you take any facet of life. That experience comes in adverse times, particularly when all one's reliance on intellect fails him, and then it comes, then one tries, Lord, God, one takes the solace of prayer, you follow?
Yes.
And there, how the impact of a prayer is. Prayer has great impact, let me tell you. Even though one is with intellect, does not matter. But it whole irony of the fate and all living is this, that a prayer and intellect, they never go together. Do you follow? Or no? Never. If there is a prayer, it has to be by heart. And the difference between the heart and head is here. When it, do you follow?
Yes.
So for you, that line of duty is different, that will tell you. So, realization of one's own state within, which is omnivision, absolute, infinite vision, infinite knowledge, infinite powers, not physical, non-physical, godly powers. You see, an infinite blissful state which is there. So those qualities of the real and the qualities of the relative, both having known and whatever belief aspects on the relative side believed to be real are destroyed, and your own real vision opens out by getting yourself set onto the real. You are implanted on the real side. Now this can be done only by a self-realized soul who is always on the real aspect side, God aspect, God virtues, God qualities, in spite of this relative field. So long as body is alive. That's all. The moment it's not there, no. Then we become indirect. Then you have to rely on scriptures, books, these, that, all activities you have to do, whichever can help you, that's all. But activities are of limited power. Do you follow? Activities are limited. Because in these times, adverse times, the very means that follows all the activities which are also means is very awkward, because the very body mean itself is in disarray. That is not in unison by head, by heart, you see, and by behavior. You follow? By head means at mind level, by heart means at speech level, and by behavior means at gross body level, activity. So, in the absence of such a unified function of the whole body as a unified aspect and as a unified mean, live mean, which is this resorting to so many other means for one to be stable within. You see? But that is difficult. That is how Lord Krishna said, Yuge Yuge Sambhavami. So, in transition times, this happens. In transition times. In the time of Lord Krishna, that was also a transition time, but before such a major transition comes, it was there at that time also. In the time of Lord Krishna, factors were very, very adverse. Let me tell you. Very adverse, because forces, even though times were good, and mind, speech and behavior, all unison, whole body aspect was there, yet the negative forces were taking over the positive forces, and that is how again it comes up. But in between time, when forces are balanced and positive forces have filled to pursue these aspects and be free from the bondages of the dual aspects of life. It was possible, but when the times then change, then it happens. That is how a Gnani opens out. You see.
Dadaji, but cause your actions, like in the context of Arjuna, he went ahead and accepted his dharma, and having done it, he acquired certain negative aspects as a result of his action. But he understood that, he knew it, but he still chose to.
No, that means he did not understood the dharma as it is. That was the point. You follow?
Well, I'm following. But
no, dharma, to know dharma as it is, it's a totally different thing. And that is where he failed. Because his understanding aspect of dharma was based on his intellectual aspect. And intellectual aspect understanding of a dharma is not a dharma. They are relative things. And that is how Lord Krishna, unless the grace was transferred, all his belief aspects on relative side were destroyed and removed, and his state as his perpetual aspect was set well within him. And then vision opens out. And then he says, okay, now I have done my work. Now I have left to you on where you are. Now you decide what you have to do. Lord Krishna never says, you do this or you do that. No. You find you can, we are telling you sometimes in this satsang, that look here, we have not gone through Gita, not a single verse of it, let me tell you. We have not read a scripture, any of the scripture. Yet any of the scripture of the world you put before us, we can see through and through. Jesus Christ, we can be in those times and so those aspects we can see now. You follow? You say Lord Buddha, any. Lord Krishna. You follow? We have made it so, but it requires certain some time you have to spend with us. And you won't need more time. We'll sit a little bit. I am coming in the 3rd week of October mostly, last week of October. I'll be here for 3 weeks. Then if you spend little time with me, say one day when you are off, you can come, when I am there, you can come there. Then it will be everything okay. It won't take time. Today we have to talk to Uma and these people. They are first.
She has many questions.
Do come out.
She comes here and she's silent.
Donna, you go and ask him.
I'm going through a difficult time.
Pardon? Come here. Come here.
I'm going through a difficult time because I was in a relationship with someone for 4 years, and we had a baby and it died, and now the relationship has ended. He doesn't want to be with me, but I'm having trouble moving past that.
That will remove. Will make you free of all these things. But I don't know when. Powers are within me. My blessings are with you. But timing aspect is not with me. You see? So it will come. You have come today, our blessings are there, and timing will come. Then what I say when I get time. Because I am here for 2 days more. So when I come back. Till that time, I am giving you something which you follow. And that will make you peace within. Okay? I will tell you. Well, you are sitting here?
Yeah.
Or you have to go?
No, we're staying.
Or then જવાન થાય મને કહેજો હું પેલો કાગળ આપીશ ઉપર છે આપણી પાસે ચેક નહીં મારી બેગમાં છે અંદર પણ એમની પાસે હશે કદાચ Okay, I'll give you. You'll have solution. Don't. My blessing. You see, if it is your desire, that to genuine in the sense that from the bottom of your heart, to get freedom from the puzzles and problems of life, and yet to pass through the life, because it is not given to anybody to pass out the life by one's own choice. But even this knowledge is extremely difficult to be found today. It's difficult. When circumstances are adverse and one feels helpless in so many situations, one understands, oh, that's all. But then again, that is the thing. But today your time has changed. That is the everything will be over. No problem. That is the main question. Any other questions, anything you can ask other than this. Would you like to taste, experience independency within you in such aspects where you feel you are in such a state? Or any of the aspects of the life that you might face in future? Would you like to experience independency of all these forces? Sure. And taste it and experience it. That is our power. That desire has to come from heart. You see, that Arjun, it came from heart at the end, unless that was there. It was like that. So it will be done. And if you've got any other questions, you can put regarding this or
I was told to move to New York.
Hmm?
I was told to move to New York.
yeah. Myself, you?
Yes.
When?
Someone keeps telling me to move to
New York.
New York City.
Okay. But you see what happens. What is your inner wish?
I don't know. I think it'd be a little hard for me to live there now.
Is
Because
it?
the
Is
energy
it?
is so
I know.
intense.
So prison for some time you carry on here? You be here for some time?
Yeah, I'm in California now. Yes.
So when we come next we'll meet, say after 4 months or so. Huh? We'll meet and then we'll make you, and then for you it will be a freedom. You see, freedom in the state that wherever you go, wherever you can go, you can never get depressed in your life. Let me tell you. In spite of all the depressing forces up on you, you will not get depressed. That you can make you.
Yes.
Right? But what price you will pay for that? Because you are charging for your portrait, no? Picture. She's charging?
She charges me a lot.
Well, I paint pictures of angels to control the idea of spirituality.
Correct.
That's why I did that.
In India also we have seen so many people, all these things, that they want to show the light at the long end of the tunnel, dark tunnel. See, the brilliant light is like this. They are doing so many pictures. So pictures are pictures after all. And you are you. Unless you are you within, how can the pictures can be seen? You see? So because of your certain natural gift that is carried forward from your past life in this life, and because of that natural gift, and because of that vision, that little clarity, whatever is within, you can draw these pictures.
Yes, I know, it's a gift from God.
That's all.
I know, yeah.
So artists, pictures, dramatists, players, scientists, for them all this is like this. You see, you're musicians and all that. But real artist with natural gift is one where one never compromises with the art in terms of money. Though money keeps on coming. Money keeps on coming. But a true artist will not compromise. It will not equate with the money. No. Even a big, great author, you see, great author is such a work, lifetime's work. And this true artist. Because a true author will mean that that true work that he has produced is his whole life's concentrated blood.
No, I know, that's why I don't make that much money. That's why I don't make that much money, because I
No,
paint
don't bother, don't bother.
I
It's all right. It will come
Yeah,
in times.
yeah.
Coming in and going out of money aspect is something that is subject to certain natural laws. Do you understand? But people are ignorant of it. In spite of all the activity which suggests otherwise, which cannot be responsible for but the money to come in, and yet the money comes in. And when people look around this, and with people's activities which should bring in money and money does not come in, they get puzzled. So what is this? What is this? The fellow is just doing like this, lots of harassing wealth, and honest people these times are such. But it does not mean, you see, these are the times of such an advancement of the technology on the physical side, that for the people who are now in the world, for them, for a temporary brief period, parole period, to live out life with means of happiness, that time is this like this. Parol, P-A-R-O-L. Parol means what? Ranjit, what?
Parole, hold to be
Out of prison.
Yeah.
It is for limited period.
Temporary.
Looking at your behavior.
Yes, it does happen.
That is like this. People don't realize over the part of life. You see, that is how it is. So everything, money also will come. But it is a coming and going aspect. But your experience of your blissful state is perpetual. That can never go. You see, it is not subject to destruction nor change. You see? Is it? Okay. Now this is the So नाम है क्या नाम आपका? बेसिन खाना क्या वक्त आया था आपने? अच्छा, very good. Ranjit bhai, you see what the query that you put and understanding of that is that it is everything is given in those 5 sentences. Those 5 sentences can unfold infinite powers within you. But these times being of a particular quality where that infiniteness cannot open out in its entirety. You see, that is in its absolute state. You follow? Yet you can experience that those infinite powers within you to the extent of just as a difference between the full moon and the 14th phase of the moon. Do you follow? 14th phase of the moon and the full moon. Can you trace the difference?
Just the sun.
Moon.
The phases
Full
of the
moon,
moon.
you understand?
Yeah. It's just the phases of the sun.
Phases. No question of sun, we are talking of the moon now. Moon and sun are totally different.
Yeah.
It is not the phases of the sun, but it is the phases which are relative that go on operating on physical aspects, and that makes us see the moon as waning and waxing. You see? You follow? For 15 days waxing and then waning. Waxing में शुक्ल पक्ष क्या के? And waning means you follow? Understand? That is how. So in a waxing period, when out of dark moon, first phase, second phase, third phase, like that, so up to 14th phase it can open out so much. But because of that 15th phase is there. So 15th phase is here, absolute life. And 14th phase is here. Though he is no more, now we are here in his place. Though forms are different, yet the material is the same. But we cannot claim it as ours. No. It is grace. And yet experience is ours. And that will be your state. I have not kept you under certain bond that, oh, you have to do this or that. No. You have been made free to live out the life in any aspect. Yet, with this experience of liberated state within. Do you follow? And those 5 sentences, being individuals in varied forms, within each individual having innumerable varieties, different aspects within each and every individual, and also world composed of all such individuals. Oh, great. But still you can be singularly blissful state experience, you can so do. That is and 5 sentences. The first one, you know, what is it? By relative viewpoint, I give you 2 viewpoints. By relative viewpoint, I am Ranjit. Right? So these 2 viewpoints we have given you. Why as Ajna? Because whatever the taste that you are experiencing or within in a realized state is through grace. It is not out of your own thing. You see, grace. Because in these times, this body means it is not in unity, and therefore to follow these other means aspects to be stable within is difficult. You see, and a stable person even in such aspects also, in spite of having progressed so high, the more he progresses, the more you humble, and to a humility side, he will be more and more. So that ordinary folk cannot understand him, because he is living within. Do you follow? Yeah. And the more and more power, certain knowledge acquisition is there within, yet he will all the time be of the attitude, oh, I am nothing, I don't know anything, like that. That will be there. Even in those saints and sages, high sages, there also, for such a state to have is very rare, let me tell you. In the times of Lord Rama, only one Maharshi, and that is how he was called Maharshi. Maharshi, amongst all of them, he was called Maharushi. Rushi is a great state, but that should be as a state. And then it is called Maharushi. Even ordinarily Rushi state is a high state. So, to be in the state of a Maharushi, he is the Guru of all. Yet, he was so simple within him at heart that, because that realization aspect was lacking. With all such powers, he was to feel within that bondage. And he was heartily in search of this, of the higher up. Higher up in the sense, not in relative terms, but in terms of absolute. You see, that is one who is free from all these things. It means one is above all these things. A Gnani. And he did come across one, and through his grace, he realized himself. And with all those powers within and his realization, he was a state very good. And in such a state, Ram got transgressed with this grace from him to Ram. And we worship Rama as Lord Rama. True, he was very high stature. But the basic fact is here that he acquired, this knowledge from Maharshi Vashishth by grace, and his teacher was there already. So the way it helped to Vashishth, it helped to Rama also, but Rama he was a very high stature. It's a natural process. That is how it has happened. So he told you, no? That's Shashikant.
Yeah.
And you are friends.
Yeah, we're friends.
What is the definition of a friend? What do you understand by being a friend?
Somebody we know intimately, to a certain degree, we feel comfortable with, and somebody who respects our limitations.
If he insults you?
Well, I get insulted, but it's okay. we saw each other enough times, so we forget.
Is it?
We learn to forgive friends more than
Is it?
ordinary people.
Is it?
I think so.
In any situation?
Oh well, you push it hard enough.
That is the taste.
Yeah.
Taste is there, right?
Okay.
Friend is someone in whose house you can't throw the plates. That's what.
That's true. A friend is a great word, I tell you, very, very great word. Amongst all the relationships in relative life, a friendship relation is the above all. You see? And this relationship can only be found between a mother and a child, not anywhere. You cannot find anywhere. A mother's friendship aspect with the children is to have one such an ideal aspect to understand what friendship is. A father cannot be as good a friend to a spouse as a mother can be. That is it. You follow? That is the thing. Friendship. That means in friendship aspect, there cannot be any calculation of any sort. Do you follow? And that you can find only in mother and child. How a child may behave against the mother or parents or all these things. Yet a mother's love to the child is always in favor of child, without any sort of expectation whatsoever. Is it so?
Yeah.
That is in relative life, spiritual life. Likewise, in the God's realm and God's love, it is an example, simile that you can find in relative life. But though in the God's realm and to experience God's bliss in a live form through a live body, what can be that state of a body? That state can only be beyond all these relative aspects where mother's love to child is supreme in all the relative considerations. It is beyond. That is to say, that love transgresses all relative aspects. You see, it is beyond. And yet before you. Do you follow? Even in relative aspects, on physical plane, for humans to live as humans, look here, Lord Jesus was live example of that love. You see? What? Live example of that love. Because, and that is how he is referred to as the Son of God. God's love directly, how can you have? How can you have? So it has to be someone through who comes. So he has to be also godlike. You follow? Otherwise it cannot be there. That is how. So such a self-realized soul, you see, and his love is like that. To him, in the whole of the relative world, wherever you can find life, he cannot be other than what that life within every living creature is. You see? In unison with all. Even some fly or insect comes and sits and stinges. There also will go wrong. Because his state is a pupil-like state before everybody, so also to the insect also. And learning a lesson from the insect that don't bite like this to anybody now. It's really so. It is not that for such a state to to have any of the physical thing to happen, which for human beings it is that how come it can happen to such a high state, all these things? No, wherever there is body, everything can happen to the body. But there is a definite account behind all these happenings. You see? Perfect account and real accountancy of the life and accountability of the life lies here. You follow? You follow? Do I understand bit? Somewhat? And that accountability in life, in every individual, is on one's own account. Though living life relatively depending on so many aspects. Basically, it is the individual account relating to one's own individuality throughout the life. Do you follow? Or difficult?
It's following, trying.
Okay. You, Donna? You?
Repeat the last statement.
Everybody's individual life accounts and its accountability is subject to one's own individuality only. It is not subject to seeking accountability of whatever happens to one from others, to put it on others that, oh, he has done this, means this. No, no. What? Come. What is his name? Right. Very good. You followed?
Right.
Huh?
In other words, blame it on yourself.
I know, it naturally, this is of such a, they are putting in so simple terms, but it has depth, which Pacific is depth is nothing. What is the depth of Pacific Ocean? You know?
13 miles.
Whatever it is. But there is nothing before this. And yet it is so simple. So unless your legs, feet touch the bottom of the Pacific, you cannot remain afloat in the Pacific. No. Your legs have to touch there. And for that you have to realize that that's it. This Pacific is nothing. This Everest is nothing. All of the mountains are nothing. All these things are within you only. You see? Mountains and valleys and rapids and icebergs, whatever you see. Titanic experience is nothing, let me tell you. Within all these experiences are there. You follow? So, this accountability we told you about that. Ranjit, it is individual. It would be great for the world today for scientists to look to life and the relative aspects of life and to find the ways and means so that people at large feel peace within. They should do research on this aspect. It applies to every individual, including the scientists who wants to go deep into this. Unless he realizes this, he cannot go into research after this. Impossible. Hello? Come. We can have a chair here, so that if you come near, we can talk better. And I can have also some benefit of your nearness. Come here. ખુરશી મૂકી આપજો. અહીંયા લાવજો. ભાઈ તમે આ બાજુ આવી જાઓ ને. અચ્છા ત્યાં અચ્છા કમ હિયર. Wherever there are laws, there is no God. And wherever there is God, there are no laws. You follow? You follow? Laws are there. What we perceive, understand and follow where there is human society. Do you follow? In any other realm, there are no laws. Is it so? These plants, these creatures, they don't need any of the laws. They don't need maternity homes. Why? They don't need that. They don't need anything. Human beings. So there must be some importance of being a human, at least, or no? There has to be. Is it not so? When from outside aspects we try to maintain humanity and human aspects with all possible efforts. So what is the basic human aspect that relates to humanity? And being human, the qualities of being as human have to be there. It can be at any corner of the world, not necessarily here or there, everywhere. Though you find differences nation-wise, caste-wise, creed-wise, you see, belief-wise, whatever. But basically human form is there. You see, right? So that is what is today scientists, they go, actually original scientists, whatever in their vision it came out in the nature, by way of natural gift, now is applied in such a manner, negative manner, that those who are applying do not know that where they are leading to. Fear constantly is there within, and yet what they are getting led into, that is not there. And it is for the good of the life to live out life, though with certain happiness aspects and living nicely, but where they are slipping into, that they do not know. That knowledge is better that they do not know. You see? And they take out the theories of black hole and this and that. You see? You follow? That's all. May I know your name, good name please?
Laughing Eagle.
Satya, you have got a great circle.
He was here last initiation.
I know. I remember. Remember means not in the sense of remembering aspect as memory aspect, but vision aspect. Vision aspect. You were sitting here. Right? Where? Last time?
Couch back.
There, yes. Sir. On the ladder. Yes, right. Others are coming today?
We set program at 7.
7, that's time. Yes. You have got enough time, half an hour more. Also. બોલો. અહીંયા. બસ આ જગ્યા છે આટલી. પછી બધા ભરાશે જગ્યા નહીં રહે. બોલો. ગુજરાતી બોલે? હા, એ વધારે મને ફાવશે. આ લોકો મુશ્કેલી પડે. પછી કહીશું.
મેં જોયું છે કે જેમ જેમ આપણે આગળ વધીએ મેડિટેશનમાં, સ્પિરિચ્યુઆલિટીમાં, એમ ટેસ્ટ મોટા ને મોટા થતા જાય છે. એવું બધાને જે મોટા સંત થઈ ગયા એ બધાને કેટલું શરીરનું આ તે વધતું જ રહે. આપણે જાણું છું કે તમે કહેતા હતા કે એનો ઉપાય શું છે કે આપણે બેલેન્સ રાખીએ. તો એ જ્યારે આગળ વધીએ આપણે અને बढ़તું જાય અને એડવર્સિટી આવે ત્યારે આપણે બેલેન્સ રાખીએ કેવી રીતે?
વેલ, આ વસ્તુ કહીને મેં તને એમાં શું કહ્યું કે આ કાળમાં આપણે બેલેન્સ રાખવા જઈએ તો બેલેન્સ રહેવું નથી, કારણ કે જે આપણું બુદ્ધિનું સાધન છે ને બેલેન્સ રાખનારું, એ જ અનબેલેન્સ્ડ છે. એટલા કારણે સંતનું તો વધારે મુશ્કેલી, પણ આ તને ત્યાં સંતની વાત કરી એટલે મારે કહેવી પડે તને. તો અહીંયા કહું, આજે એક એ ક્વોલિટી નથી જે આગળ થોડા વખત પહેલા હતી, એક નથી. તો સમજાય? અને સંત શબ્દ બહુ જુદી પ્રકારનો છે કે સમજવા જેવો છે. એકચ્યુઅલી આપણા લાઈફમાં, રિલેટિવ લાઈફમાં, ટુ બી હેવ અ સ્મૂથ લાઈફ વિધાઉટ હેસલ્સ એન્ડ ડિફિકલ્ટીઝ, આ બધું એના માટે સંત પુરુષોની ગાઈડ આપણને જરૂર પડે. કારણ કે એ લોકો, આપણે ઘર છોડ્યું એટલે આપણે એમ સમજીએ કે લોકો હેસલ ફ્રી છે, ડિફિકલ્ટી, પરંતુ એ ઘરના મામલાઓ એનાથી છૂટ્યા, પણ અંદરના મનને હિસાબેના મામલાઓમાંથી કેવી રીતે છૂટી શકે? તો સમજાયું? એટલે જ્યાં મન છે ત્યાં સંસાર છે. એટલે એ આમ વ્યવહાર ભાષામાં, સામાજિક ભાષામાં, લોક ભાષામાં કહે કે તમે સંસારીઓ અને અમે સંત, એ છૂટ્યા. એટલે તમારે સંતોનું માનવું જોઈએ. ઓકે. અને વ્યવહારની રીતે ખોટું નથી, બરોબર છે, પણ વ્યવહારની રીતે, લોક વ્યવહારની રીતે, ભગવાનના વ્યવહારની રીતે નહીં. પૂછને આગળ કંઈક શું, આ શું કહ્યું? પૂછતો ખરી. લોક વ્યવહાર શું, ભગવાનનો વ્યવહાર શું, એવું તો પૂછ. તારામાંથી હું પૂછીશ, તું શું? મને કારણ કે અહીંયા આપણે કોઈને નપાસ કરવા નથી અને પાસ કરવાનો નથી. સમજ્યું ને? એ તો ક્યાં હોય કે આશ્રમમાં જ્યારે ડિસિપ્લિન રાખવી પડે. સમજ્યું ને? અને ગુરુ પાસે જાઓ તો રહેવું જ પડશે તમારે. એ તો નિયમ છે, એ તો બધો પદ્ધત છે. એમાં તો વ્યવહારના નિયમો કોઈને છોડે નહીં, એ તો રાખવા પડે. કારણ કે વ્યવહારને માન્ય છે બધા. સમજ્યું ને? પણ ભગવાનને માન્ય નથી. એટલા માટે કહ્યું, જ્યાં કાયદા છે ત્યાં ભગવાન નથી, અને ભગવાન છે ત્યાં કાયદા નથી. પણ આ વાત એક તલવારની ધાર જેવી છે. કેવી? એટલે બહુ કાકરી છે. હવે અત્યારે પણ કોને માટે? કે those who are thinking type, કે જેમને લાઈફમાં કંઈક અંદર ગયા છે, સમજવા માંગે છે તે. આપણા જેવા બધા ઘણા, આપણે વ્યવહારમાં તો લોકોને ધર્મની ઘણી જરૂર છે. હું તમને કહું, આ ટાઈમમાં તો લોકો ખોરી જ રહ્યા છે, પણ મળતો છે નહીં એ કઈ જગ્યાએ. શું કહ્યું? કારણ કે દરેક જણ પોતે પોતાની શોપ લઈને બેઠા છે. શું લઈને બેઠા છે? શોપ એટલે શું? બોલ ને. દુકાન એટલે શું? સમજાય મને?
એટલે બધાને પોતપોતાનું ચાહત હોય, પોતપોતાના ડિઝાયર્સ હોય.
એ તો બધું છોડી દે વાત. પણ દુકાન એટલે શું કરે? સાદી ભાષામાં સમજાય ને. ગ્રાહક વેપારીનો સંબંધ, ગ્રાહક અને વેપારી બેનો રિલેશન એટલે શોપ કહેવાય. સમજ્યું? સેલર બાય રિલેશનશિપ, દેટ ઇઝ શોપ. તો સમજ્યું? હવે એમાં એ કઈ જાણી જોઈને કરે છે? જાણી જોઈને કોઈ આટલું એક કરી શકે, એક પરમાણુ આગુ પાછું કરી શકે, કોઈની સત્તા નથી લે. જાણી જોઈને કોઈ માનતા હોય તો એ તો બસ ચાલે છે, એમનું હરખું ચાલે, ધ્યાનથી ચાલે. તો ટાઈમ આવે ત્યાર પાછું એ થાય, અરે આ શું પાછું સારામાં સારા, કોઈ કરી શકે નહીં. તો આવું કેમ બને છે? તો કે એમાં કોઈનું ચાલે એવું નથી. કારણ કે આ ટાઈમ સાયકલ આખી જે છે એ પરપેચ્યુઅલ છે, અને એ આખું વર્લ્ડનું સિચ્યુએશન જે એવર ચેન્જિંગ આસ્પેક્ટ્સમાં, કોન્સ્ટન્ટલી ચેન્જિંગ આસ્પેક્ટ્સમાં છે, તે ઇનફાઇનાઇટ ટાઈમ્સથી છે અને ઇનફાઇનાઇટ ટાઈમ સુધી ચાલ્યા જ કરે. જસ્ટ એઝ એ વ્હીલ, સ્પિનિંગ વ્હીલ. સમજાયું ને? There cannot be a beginning or end. It's a spinning wheel, and it's subject to time aspects. And those time aspects are relative time aspects, subject to past and future. Do you follow? And the center is not subject to change. Do you understand? You know? Vikram ક્યાં ગયા? તમે બેસા સાંભળો છો? Center is not subject to change. You see? And not subject to that relative time aspect which is constantly in the changing. Now, then center is not subject to time? Okay, no, because time by itself is in a natural state at the center. And time to be as natural and to be in a relative aspect are totally different. Unless the relative perpetual natural aspect of the time as an element is there cannot be relative time at all. You follow or no? And that perpetual aspect of time in its elemental form is all the time in a present state. So go in present state, not subject to past and future effects. So go not subject to and future effects. Effects to समझाएंगे तने? You see, I am not saying only past and future, but past and future effects. You follow? What is an effect? An effect is one which is the result of believing what is not factual as fact. You follow? What is effect after all? Life. And what is life? Life is nothing but the bundle of all the effects that one goes on experiencing and suffering out right from birth till the end. It goes on and on and on. Even though it is in various forms, innumerable forms, in the mental aspect at the level of mind, intellectual aspects at the level of intellectual understanding aspects, unconscious, the body conscious aspects which are throughout the life, as well as body ego aspects, which is the crux that is responsible for any of the body activity to happen. You follow? Unless that body egoism aspect is not there as a part of the physical body, none of the physical activity of the body can happen, let me tell you. The speech that is coming out is, the base is there, mooring is there. And beyond all these things, that is your state as a real perpetual state that is within you is the center. You see? That is how the relationship of the center and the circle is. Circle aspect with life and all life aspects. Vrunda. That is circle. In center you do not know. So you are revolving as the circle revolves. You have to revolve along with that. Till we make you realize your center. You see, that is within you. And one who is always at the center, in spite of all these relative aspects, can only make you realize your center. It is not given to Santa. Santa by himself is trying to be in search of the center, but though on the relative circumference, relative aspect. Relative aspect means intellectual aspect. That is this, that's all. Even highest of the art. So, basically, Sat Purush is distinctly separate from a Sant Purush. Sant Purush is helpful as a guide in relative life for guiding us in the life to be away from the negative forces and try to be on the positive side. Not that they are on the positive side. It's difficult, as you say. Because inside mind is there, anything can be there. Unfortunately, there cannot be dissection of this. Vikram. In the medicine science, you dissect and know all the physical anatomy and find all the, right? But these things cannot. You see? This surgery is only given to a self-realized soul state, that is life. Only he can perform the surgery, Vikram. Not medicine, science or medicine or doctors, no. This surgery as is at the level of mind. You follow? And who can perform that surgery at the level of mind? You see? Dissociating with totally different. You see? And for that, as in the physical surgery, whatever causes of the disease have to be removed like that and made free from its effect for the health to come to normal. Right? Likewise, for this to happen, whatever bonding forces are between the two have to be removed. Unless that gets removed, well, that removal is not the function of activity, physical activity. See? How to explain you what a Gnani is? Who will understand in the world? You see? So that activity is non-physical. It is state-wise activity, inner experience state, self-realized state. That self-realized state within works in this surgery through the medium of the live body, which is a mere instrument. Vikram, we should say you are lucky. Or Vrinda is lucky. What do you say? You both. That's true. આ સંસ્કાર છે આપણા. તારો પ્રશ્નનું સમાધાન થયું તો બેસી જશે. પૂજ્યતા પૂછવા જેવું લાગે. હા, તમે બધું કરી દઈશું, તારું કામ થઈ ગયું છે. જા. आपका कोई प्रश्न है? आनंद है? શારદાબેન તો મૂકા નહીં રહ્યા, કઈ વાત નથી કરતા. ક્યારના આવ્યા છે તો કોણ જોડે બેઠું છે? અરે આ બે જણ આવ્યા છે. વાત કરો. ભાગવત વાંચે કે નથી વાંચતી? રાજેશ, ભાગવત રાખો છો ગદમાં? શું હશે છે? વૈષ્ણવ થઈને આવી નથી રાખી? ઇન્ડિયાથી આપી જ નથી. કે હવે ભાગવત શું સમજી ગઈ તું? ના સમજી? કોને ભાગવત કહેવાય? કોને કહેવાય? ગીતા. કોને કહેવાય? ગીતા. પેલો રાજેશ, એની બીજી એડિશન. ત્રીજી પેલો એક છે ત્રીજો. આ તો ભાગવત કહેવાય. સમજી ગઈ નહીં? પાકું બોલીશ નહીં ને? યાદ આવે. ભાગવતનો અર્થ શું છે? કે ભગ શબ્દ પરથી આવેલું છે. તો ઇટ્સ એ સંસ્કૃત વર્ડ. શું સાહેબ સમજાવો? થોડું આપવા કરો. હા, શું કહ્યું? भक्ति नहीं, भक्ति दूसरा अर्थ है. नहीं, लेकिन जो अर्थ बताते वो ऐसा ऐसा बाहर नहीं है. वो अर्थ एक बार हो ही सकता नहीं.
वो भक्ति शब्द है, वो भज धातु से आया है, और भागवत वो भग धातु से आया है. भज माने टू लव.
ऑलराइट है तारा बेन? कितलू?
और ईशावास्य उपनिषद में सबसे पहले ये भक्ति शब्द का दर्शन होता है. और दादा भगवान की ये शोधखोल है कि जब परफेक्ट नॉलेज होता है तब भक्ति स्वयं भीतर से ही वो प्रस्फुट होती है, और टू अप्रोच नियर एंड नियर, दैट इज भक्ति।
ये देखिए, भक्ति मीन्स, भक्ति वो अपने से कोई अलग चीज नहीं है, लेकिन हमें अपना स्वरूप का ही ख्याल नहीं, ज्ञान नहीं, इसीलिए हम भक्ति शब्द व्यवहार से वापरते हैं कि भी भक्ति करो, कीर्तन करो, और उसमें उसका जो मकसद है वो एक ही है कि जिसकी भजना करते हैं, भजना, भज मीन्स टू, भक्ति बोलते हैं ना, नजदीक जाना, नजदीक जाना, हमें जाना है तो कोई किसी जगह, तो जगह की हम उसको जाएगा इसमें, तो उसकी और नजदीक जाना, इसके लिए ऐसा। तो दरअसल भक्ति किसको बोलते हैं? भक्ति का प्रकार होते हैं। तो संसार में जो हमें बढ़ती करावे और सुख शांति दिलावे, उसको भक्ति बोलते हैं, और संसार का प्रयोजन के अर्थ पर है। और जो हमें संसार की सभी असरों से मुक्त होने के लिए जो प्राप्त होनी है, वो भक्ति अलग है, वो संसार से मुक्ति दिलाने वाली भक्ति बोली गई। मोक्ष शब्द उसका अर्थ यही है, संसार की सभी असरों से, इफेक्ट से हमें मुक्ति दिलावे और वो मुक्ति का अनुभव से हमें रखे। ऐसा नहीं है कि कोई चीज नहीं है और उससे हम मुक्ति अनुभव करें, चीज है और उसके असर से हम अनुभव करें, उसको मुक्ति बोलते हैं। लोग की कल्पना क्या है कि भी ये पसंद नहीं, ये चले जाए, तो चली गई जो मुझे आनंद हो गया, ऐसी बात कभी भी नहीं हो सकती। यू फॉलो? आप समझ गए? तो उसको पराभक्ति बोलते हैं, परा। तो भक्ति शब्द दरअसल भगवान को लागू पड़ती है, भगवान का गुण, समझे? इसीलिए भागवत पढ़ना है तो वो भगवान के कहीं गुण है, ऐश्वर्य है, उसका वो अर्थ है। और उनकी महिमा वो भागवत से हम पढ़े कि जैसे कृष्ण भगवान की महिमा हम पढ़ते हैं तो उससे हमें उनके प्रति भक्ति होती है, भाव होता है, ये उसका अर्थ है और कुछ नहीं है, समझ में? लेकिन ये ऑस्टेरिटी के लिए, पीछे के लिए जब कृष्ण भगवान हाजिर नहीं है, उसके लिए साधन के स्वरूप में आया है और कुछ नहीं है। कृष्ण भगवान हाजिर थे वहां से, ऐसा नहीं है। ये तो अभी रिसेंट है, बहुत रिसेंट है। लेकिन साधन तो होना चाहिए, साधन तो होना चाहिए। हमें भूख लगी है, हमारी इच्छा है कि हमें अच्छा धान मिले, बासमती राइस मिले, अच्छा इंदौरी गेहूं मिले, सब कुछ मिले, लेकिन भूख लगी मिलते नहीं है। तो बहुत सोचते हैं अरे ये तो करो तो लाइट कर दे, लेकिन वहां बैठा रहना, भूखे कोई बैठा रहेगा? तो जो है वो मिला, वो खा लिया, वो तो होना ही है। उसका अर्थ है नहीं कि जो मिले तो जो, वो तो समय की बात है। लेकिन भागवत का दरअसल अर्थ बहुत अच्छा है, बहुत अच्छा है। वो अगर समझे जाए तो भागवत का हमें लाभ हो सकता है। समझ में? જ્ઞાન પ્રકાશ બહુ જુદી વસ્તુ છે. જ્યારે એ તો નેચરલ આઈટી બધું ફોલો થાય ને ત્યારે બધું દેખાયું પાછો વખત થાય.
અને જ્ઞાની પુરુષની હાજરીમાં તો કીર્તન ભક્તિ સસ્વરૂપ અનુસંધાન.
Okay, fine. Everything?
Everything's great.
5 sentences.
5 sentences.
Yes. 2 viewpoints. The relative and the real. Who are you by relative viewpoint? And by real viewpoint, when all the doubts have vanished, that is your realization. You follow? You follow? The realization is not there so long as there is always doubting, there are doubting situations. But regarding this, no doubts, right? About you, no doubt as to who are you by real viewpoint.
I'm
Pure.
Lori person.
Pure soul. And only pure soul you are? Only pure soul? Who is speaking then? Who replies? Pure soul cannot reply. Tell me.
I'm Lori.
That's good. You see, the speech relates to whom? Pure soul or Gauri?
The energy.
That's it. So all the relative functions belong to Gauri by relative point. And whatever happens by relative point happens to Gauri as relative Gauri. And I, as real pure soul, is just knower and seer. And the vision that is opened out, in that vision, divine vision, I see whatever happens in all relative activity. You see? You follow?
So once we speak, when our energy, in order for our energy to come out, we are then in a sense existence. What you're saying is then our
It's a function.
function.
It's a physical function, relative function. And pure soul is beyond speech.
Right.
Do you follow? That is what we tell you, the realization, doubtless realization, 100% doubtless. How many percent?
100%.
Oh, see, repeat.
100%.
Sure?
Yeah.
Or you have reserved 1% or some? Please tell me now. Yes. It is not that we are sitting here for the sake of telling me you are telling that. Is it so? Is that? That's all. Then again you will say, oh, so many things happen to Gauri, but then it does not remain with me. That is a sort of a rather આભાસ ને શું કહે ઇંગ્લિશમાં? Not illusion. Reflective consciousness. Reflective. It appears to you like that. Reflective way. Do you know? But pure soul you will know within that or whatever happens, it happens to Gauri. And I, pure soul, is totally dissociated from all Gauri and Gauri's relative aspects and all its relative interaction aspects of all the relative world. You follow?
Are you talking about illusions, like of the different?
No illusion. Illusion is
Yeah,
gone now. Illusion means I am Gauri.
Right.
You follow?
It's all taken.
That is called illusion. You see? That wrong belief is the illusion or nothing more. Ranjit, bye. You follow? Wrong belief is very wrong belief. And to live life wrong belief wise is illusory life. Illusory in the sense that to believe what is not to be what is. What is not in the sense that not though you experience everything before you, and how can you say what is not? Well, it is in this sense that what is not means what is not perpetual, what is subject to change, we believe it as changeless. You follow? What is subject to destruction, we believe it as it is going to last. Right? That is called wrong belief. Do you follow? You understand? You? Ranjit, I understand? That is wrong, that's all. Well, we explain you in so simple words and to such a level, you might be feeling, oh, it's easy, too easy, it is yours now. Vision is yours now, with your own vision, now you are gone experiencing this state within you. So long as this life body aspect is there, as per living out your life, as per those 5 sentences. Out of these, 2 are these. That by relative viewpoint I am Gauri, by real viewpoint I am pure soul. Out of 5, these are the 2. You see, basically. But in your life you will experience that, oh, these two viewpoints, as it is, as they should be, that they are. Sometimes it becomes disturbed. Well, the disturbance is because of your basic body relative aspects at mind level, physical consciousness level, physical intellectual level. You see, physical egoistic level, which is there, egoistic in the sense that this location is there on this navel point, just at the spinal cord, exactly below. You see, that is the location. You follow? Whole body central point is this. In physical sense, whenever there some imbalance occurs in the body in a subtle form, it comes into gross form, takes the shape of disease in a later, then expands further, progresses further. But that happens particularly at this level. Do you understand? Spinal cord, most intricate mechanism and also custom made. Sorry. How? Custom made?
Custom made?
Is it not so? It's not made to order.
No.
What is it? You don't know? When you make your shirt you buy a shirt is different, and to get it made as per your, is it, what do you call it?
Stock.
Eh?
Stock.
Stock, I don't know.
Tailor-made.
What? No. But and અહીં ભાષામાં શું કહે છે બધા અમને કોને? Custom made. There's a special order you give.
Yeah, that's a custom made.
Yes, custom. You have to follow, no?
Yes.
You follow or not? So Gauri is custom design. By yourself. Hey, you come. Oh. Yeah. Satchidanand. Satchidanand word. Sat relates to pure soul. Sat relates to pure soul. Chit relates to your realized state of being you by real viewpoint as pure soul. It's a state of consciousness. You see, that vision is opened out and that vision functions now. And the result is bliss, Anand. You see? So, the Anand is the function of your pure soul state vision. You follow? Ranjit? You see? Now you are laughing, then I understand that this picture. You see? So long as we are not knowing this, we have to be serene and all that. Oh, okay, fine. But the state of God and Godhood state is not like that. You see? Otherwise, who will seek the pleasure and such a state of a God? Nobody will seek. It is there perpetually. But now it is opened out within you. In any of these situations you will feel, oh, this happens to Gauri, and well, you are suffering through your own past mistakes, and now in the suffering form they are phasing out. A situation has arisen, and now the circumstance whole happening is taking shape and going up, then taking shape of the going up, then goes, stays there for a while, and then coming down and like that. That we see in our life now, you see. It's going to go according to whatever material that is accumulated within you physically in this life form for the whole life is there till the end. Do you follow? It all happens on physical plane, and you as pure soul are distinctly separate from that. You see? But though because of this grace that you have realized, they are not of your efforts, only what happened that you had accumulation of certain right type of physical luck aspect, you may call it, which is of a quality which should be responsible for you to get this realized. It's a very high quality. Luck is a very ordinary word, very, very ordinary word to describe for that. You see, it should be such a quality. Then these factors, so many innumerable qualities. You see, by and large, lucky people are happy to be found happy everywhere, but qualities differ. Is it so? What do you say?
They're different, yes.
Definitely, everywhere you see. Everywhere you see. The emperor with his luck, though everybody would feel that he should be, and yet inside he only knows that what is your quality is. You see, that is how. And the Jesus, which is such a great luck factor that he was a son of God, and his quality was within, that he experienced him. That is what we call that, such qualities. And that made you realize this, but not your efforts. But that factor was there, that was the carry forward of the past lives, and that was within you, that was instrumental. You see, for you, and for our experienced state, realized state, and the grace of that divinity that is what is within us, we experience every breath of our life, for that to be showered on you, this body is instrument. You follow? So this is how the relationship of the whole world, the relative world is. Instrument and instrumentality. You follow? Not mentality, instrumentality. Why are you laughing?
નિમિત્ત ને નિમિત્તાને બધામાં કોડ સાહેબ અંગ્રેજીમાં પડે છે ને એટલે.
તો આ લોકોને પુણ્ય જાગે છે બધી.
હા.
See,
Illusion and reflect
how are you?
consciousness.
Okay, nice. Nice. Blissful state. Huh? You're listening?
Very much.
So both the things go on. What is being listened and what you are as pure soul. Oh, it happens. It goes on getting sin there. You see? Unless the seer is there, sin cannot be seen. Nobody? Unless the viewer is there, seer. Viewer relates to these eyes. Ranjit bhai.
Yes.
And seer relates to original vision. It's pure soul vision. You see? So that seeing aspect that is opened out, that is called divine vision. That is real viewpoint. You follow? You follow? Understood? So, unless that vision opens out, you cannot see any of your thoughts which are sins as thoughts, and you as the seer of those thoughts. That is the relationship between your mind within you and you as pure soul. And that relationship establishment is the divinity in its realized state within you. And that goes on opening out now, living out the life as per these 5 sentences. The first 2 sentences, by relative viewpoint, I am Ranjit Bhai. By real viewpoint, I am pure soul. But because of the past accumulation that was there, and that has resulted into this body form and body life, this present life form, that accumulation is there, and that has to be spent out. That has to be. So to pass out those relationships and to stay and be firmer and firmer on pure soul vision side. You see, the third sentence we have given you as for you to follow as a dictate throughout life. Dictate. Command. Command, it does not mean that we keep you bound. Wherever you are, you feel bound by our saying. No. Command in the sense, there is no other alternative word in English that I can tell you. It's difficult to say. But it is a command from us because we are free from all commands whatsoever. And therefore, our experience state, what is within us, in this manner, in this aspect, that we are giving you as a command for you because you have got this vision now. Unless this vision is there, this command cannot be given. It is given for everybody, those who have realized their state, and for them individually for their own opening out. You see? It is not a collective understanding. It is individualistic understanding. Do you follow? So third command, what is it? Then whatever we used to be, from the past we used to believe that whatever happens at mind level, speech level or body level, whatever happens, we were the owner of all that happening as if we have done. That I have thought, oh, I am thinking, I am speaking, I am doing all the actions. That is owning of actions, relative actions, you see. That was believed, but now on that day we told you that whatever that belief where there is wrong, now third particular this thing we give you, that all these relative aspect happenings are through a cosmic power, making us function in our relative life through inner aspects, and connection with that cosmic power according to our own accountability. According to our own accountability, what is stored there in these functions. Do you follow? It is in a power form. Ranjit Bhai, do you follow? Yes. It is in a power form. What sort of power? If it is in a power form, then perpetually we can never be free from such a power which constantly from infinite times goes on getting operating everybody like this. No, it is not power by itself. It is the dependent power making us dependent on body aspects. You see, dependent power in the sense that power by its own has not come out. It's a power, just a natural cosmic state because of which whole universal, all live body aspects, they operate in a live manner. Operate in the sense naturally. You see? But when we see everything active, we have to call it as operative, but it is actually naturally functioning type powers. You see? And through that cosmic. So everybody's individual connection, and because of that inspirational aspect, so long as our whole life force is till the end, whatever connections are there, so subtle, we are connected. So unless that connection is there, the power cannot flow and inspire us within for any activity to happen. So that inspiration is through that power, not by its own state, but by a arrangement that is to be there for any of the live body aspects, for that physical states to phase out in the sense discharging out. Do you follow? Do you understand? Unless that discharging out aspect and such a naturality is not there, what can be the state of this universe? What can be the state, Ranjit Bhai? Chaos. Nobody can imagine. That is how whole universe in a perfectly balanced state is there all the time. Here our professor, great professor is there. He has done doctorate in religion and all that. He is before us today. And he will explain what is that exactness of the power between sun, moon and all these things. Please explain somewhat. See, the planets birth, life, all these things, it is in such a balanced state that any imbalance in that can be chaotic for the humanity. And today all these scientists are worried over this. Is it not so? All the educationalists are worried over this. Is it not so? Almost in all facets of life, everybody is so. It is there. Why? Because that excessive nature of the science, so-called science for the world today, has surpassed natural limits. You follow? In everyday life. Natural limits. And that is how that balance is lost. When you create so many means of happinesses for feeling one to be happy and comfortable and all that in life, when they exceed, then what is necessary for you to be balanced within? Naturally that balance will be lost between the inner happiness what you require and external means of happinesses which are in excessive nature. Do you understand? It's bound to know. That has created all this thing. But actually the thought that whatever will happen to you now throughout your life will be not of your making it to happen, but it is as per the cosmic power. And whatever my accountability is there, according to that accountability it goes on happening to me. Even though somebody insults. It was something that was delivered, is received back, that's all. Where you are not to see, it has come. It has come. So whatever happens and whatever happening to you, it is a receiving state for you for understanding your accountability in this life, for it to get phased out as per that sentence. You see, within. Outside you may react with others in a dramatic way, true, but nobody knows that it is a drama. Anybody knows? And yet, in factuals, by fact, life is nothing but a drama. Drama, people understand as something of making fool of others, cheating others. That is the way it is understood. Is it not so? Who is making a drama? No. Making a drama is not a drama. Unless it is in its naturality state, it cannot be a drama. You follow? And the life, very life is so. Very life is so. You feel? But for humans, unfortunately, that is not so. So long as that realization comes, and out of that realization with the vision, one lives out the life as a drama. Through that vision, not otherwise. But belief, nobody can be as a drama. If one can be at the best, a best actor or actress, all these things, but not a drama. Lawrence Arvind can move by depicting the horns of a dilemma, but he himself cannot be out of that. You understand? Such are the powers within. Every moment of life, the coloration goes on changing, which is called aura-like, but nobody can understand that. We can understand color through and through. Nobody can see that. You follow? And now you are free from all such relative auras. Now you have your own pure vision state opened out, and that is divine. When you see a high elated soul picture, say Jesus or some, and something is shown light-like thing, you know, it is just to show the aura of that. It is not a physical light or like that. Every human being, some sort. When you get a lot of anger, that anger like aura easily comes. It comes out. It affects others also. It's one very complex machine. See, complex person. You see? So third sentence, that whatever is happening in life, liking, not liking, joyful, sorrowful, bitter, sweet, whatever comes to you through any of the relative aspects and interactions that is relating to us as our accountability, what is there, and as per that it happens. So inside us we accept it, that's all, as to our own account, that's all. Outside we say, I have not done anything, and you are insulting like that. When the fellow is negative, if you see, and he tries to be more negative, then you understand, oh, there is no sense in going further. Gradually withdraw. But in listening time, you can say, and there's some interaction, once, twice, and oh, it's fades out, that's all. It's a drama. The way where you have to act when you are on a stage. That. You see? What we believed it to be of our making is not there now. It's a passing phase. So when that situation passes out, it falls out. Just as a ripened leaf that falls out, but it falls out. And to that extent, your pure soul vision power opens out. Your powers open out. Your virtues open out. And your body, aura becomes blissful within. You follow? That is the third sentence. Do you understand? That scientific circumstantial evidences is the force, cosmic force. You see? Because of our accountability stored within there, everything happens in our life. From our past life, out of our ignorant state and illusory state, what was believed relative, temporary as permanent, and all those feelings believed to be factual got stored there, charged. You see, that means unless it gets charged here, it cannot be fed there. So what was charged here, it goes on getting fed there continuously. And what is fed actually phases out. It is like a vast computer which no human being can ever make. Vast computer-like. Scientific circumstantial evidences. That is the cosmic power. In short, you follow? So whatever is fed, just it phases out. It's a continuous for all the universe. Until the realization comes, you cannot get release, and that charging has stopped. You follow? Charging has stopped now, and only discharge remains. That is how we gave you that third sentence, so that in the present life itself you will be free and more free from all these physical aspects as you pass out through the life, and you will experience your own state. So this sentence will be your experience state in life, phases wise. That is how we have to give you. But rely on it. Yes. Till your such it is getting set within you. Understand? You will be free from the bonds of intellectual and all these things, which will be because of the stickiness of the past. Still it is there. It will make you feel, oh, it happens to me like that. You see? So that is the third sentence. And the fourth sentence is, now whatever remains in our life is nothing but to square up all the accounts that are within us and with everybody else outside. You see? Relation wise. So they are called all relative accounts. You see? And we gave you word file. So all the files, accounts have to be lived out in such a life that your file accounts go on getting closed. It's balanced, equalized. Credit and debit equalized. You follow? Now files, when we say it is an important function in our life to manage our own affairs. When we say files, files means it's an organization of the filing cabinet also now, because we are free. We do not like to see that anything else can bother us much now. So whatever files are there, you have to dispose them of in a equilibrium manner, with equanimity of that vision, pure vision within. Do you follow, Ranjit? So all the file accounts have to be squared up. We have to live life in such a way that we do not have any negative aspect from others with whom we have got relational aspects, any revengeful attitude or negative attitude in store there for us. So long as that effect is there is some sort of force that does not let us experience our blissful state within in its full state. So we should deal with everybody like that, and basically with our own mind, speech and body file. So when we have to organize a filing cabinet, we have to number them 1, 2, 3. So nearest numbers are the closest. Number 1 is the most important one. So number 1 has always to be to Ranjit Bhai. That is, which is there all the time together with us. You see. Number 2 is by law, lifetime partner. What you call better half? What I don't know what you call. What do you call?
Husband, wife.
Equal half.
Huh? Equal half. Equality.
Equal one.
And that is in law. Of course, lawful. Huh? And then all of the relations, you see, whatever relations are there. So all these files have to be squared up. And these files, how many of them? They cannot be 6 billion population of the whole world or your 250 million of the whole USA. No. It is to this one's own physical body and physical body's related accounts with others. Basically physical one, because whatever mind aspects are physical body aspects. Whatever intellectual aspects are there. Speech aspects are relating to here only. You see? And body egoistic aspects also relating to this. So basically it's that. And exterior aspects are interconnected with outer activities. So basically here, so we keep more our pure vision wise attention on our inner aspects and living out with others like this, so that all the accounts are squared up. You follow? So they can be hardly relation wise 10, 15,000 or 70,000, what more. It's not the whole world that you have to conquer. Alexander understood that to conquer the world is to be the supreme. But he realized it is not so. And at a stage when he was helpless, all the physicians of the world failed, could not revive him to his life. Is it so? He nearly conquered, great. But then he said, no, I am the, what can we call in foolish terms? There cannot be anybody more foolish than I. That is what he said. What I did. I plundered and all these things, and on the woes and miseries and cries of so many people. And he said, look here, I am going with my hands like this. Everybody does like that. What he told me. Ranjit Bhai? You can't take anything with you. Why? Tell me.
What does belong to you?
And what is your belonging? You know now. Without getting belonged, it is you. You see, that is singularly you. Do you follow? It is singularly you. That is independence. That is independency. Do you follow? You are not subject to any dual aspects, depending aspects. For you to be a pure soul, to depend on anything, is it? No. You follow? Ranjit Bhai. That is the fourth sentence. So all our accounts have to scale up. so that nothing, no force that keeps us attached to it, you see, so that we should have effect from that side in balance. Squared up. Credit and debit sides has got to be equal, that's all. So you inside of you feel, oh now the fellow, though for some time past he was behaving like this, now I have got pure soul vision, and though I believed him to be physically and by fact so, and he was doing this me, that me in spite of minding good to him, but now I know I am pure soul, and he, though he is reacting to me like this without my any fault, yet pure soul is within. He is pure soul within. My relative, though he is doing like that. So by pure soul vision, wise you view like that, and you deal in whatever aspects you are drawn to deal with him, and in that way in such a dramatic manner that you constantly by pure soul vision wise you go on understanding that gradually that feeling is listening out and phasing out. You see, that is how the accounts go on getting spread out with this pure vision. Yes.
I don't see how you can square up accounts in this world. I mean, in other words, I owe my mother so much, all that she has given me, birthed me, and supported me.
Right.
How can I square that account?
Well, by squaring up the accounts, relative accounts, I mean that this state of experience of liberated state as pure soul within you from all relative aspects, and basically this your own body aspect, basically. You follow? Which is closest to you. Do you understand? Mother as physical aspect giving birth to you as son, and your mother's relation, it is there, no doubt. It is the prime relation amongst all the relations, no doubt, that is there. But it is physical wise, it's a distinct relation, and physical wise, your relation vis-a-vis pure soul is closest. Is it not so? What's name please?
Jim.
Jim. As Jim. Because you before picture Dada I said now, oh I am pure soul. So for 10 minutes I would like to sit just as pure soul. There is nothing around to disturb me now. Let me sit now and put your picture and just you see. Picture in the sense because realized state is your very own pure soul, and that is how it helps you physically, that's all. Otherwise you have got in your own now as your own pure soul state vision within you, understand? But still that firms up and settles. You see, you have to have that sort of within you, that I am pure soul like the self-realized state through whom I got this realized as pure soul. You understand? So long as that physical aspect, live aspect is there. When you keep within you him as your pure soul opens out very easily. Do you follow? Very easily. Because a realized soul state has nothing in this world that he has to have. No. Because he is all to his own realized state. Do you follow? And that is the vision given to you. But for reason to come out in a stable manner and firm up manner, if you keep before you in your vision his stature within you, that is not physical stature, let me tell you. Do you understand? It's a very easiest way and the only way of getting firmly set on your pure soul vision. You see, in our scriptures, there is a technical word for that. It is called nididhyasan, but you may not understand it. It is Sanskrit word. You see, nididhyasan. If I separate the words of which it is composed, 3 words. I will tell you, nididhyasan. Nij means our own self. Adhi means to be as one own self. And asan means to be firmly set on to one's own self. You see? Now, through grace you have realized, but for it to happen within, experience, to get experienced within you, till that happens, you keep the stature of a self-realized soul within you as your own pure soul self. I am same pure soul self as the self-realized state, Gnani, that is before me, through whose grace I have realized my state. You see? That is called. So mother relation is okay, there is nothing, it's the prime relation, it's okay. But query on the accounts means, mother, from mother, let me tell you, even though mother would appear to be enemy-like, no mother on the world will be enemy-like, let me tell you. Do you follow my statement? Sometimes it can happen. Enemy. Enemy means...
Oh, you mean opposition, huh?
One can experience.
Yes.
E-N-E-M by enemy. Though one may feel enemy-like towards a mother, but let me tell you, on the world, there can never ever be any mother that can be enemy-like to a spouse. No. And this is the thing, that is the motherly love. That is how on the world motherly love is considered to be the best. So that is it's a relation aspect. You see? Because mother has no expectations from her son. She is always out to give out. That is called mother love. You see? And actually the self-realized state is nothing but a motherly love, fatherly love, whatever you may call, it is all. Do you follow? In spite of this, all these things, because there is nothing in the world that you can make him happy with, because his blissful state is all within him all the time, experienced. You understand? Nothing whatsoever. You follow? So accounts I meant that way. Do you understand? So it is there. But here, now, to experience your total freedom, independence, that relative account and accountability aspects are there. You have to be Vinay mother no suke. Before mother, you have to be like that only. You are a child, even though you are so much weak. No, always. Do you follow? That is there. But then, with pure soul vision, now you are not viewing her as mother, but with mother with pure soul within. Now you are with both the points you are with. So that is your added repayment of mother's love. There is no other way you can repay mother's love. How can you repay? By physical activities or by making her happy, all these things? No. Because their mother wishes that her child, any child, whatever it is, that can be happy in the life. I have no expectation. You follow? But to understand that mother's love on this level, that is how today we find disturbances in life all around. Because there is no right type of understanding which is lost sight of regarding the parental aspects, spouse aspects and all that. Day by day. Do you understand? That is how it happens. But with this science that has opened out, if this science vision spreads, it can spread. Even without realization also. In relative life also it can spread. You see, on relative plane, that we have given you, but you do not need, you have got vision. So fourth sentence is this, that all accounts, we should see that our full independency and freedom state within we experience, and through our experience the fragrance comes out, and very fragrance is the companionship fragrance, all through, without any, this is so to me, nothing. relation will remain. It won't go away. You follow? But on the contrary, it will be with fragrance, which is lacking. And that fragrance will open out within you. Do you follow? Because now you are not with opinion wise, you are not before anybody that this is my father or this is my mother or this is my sister or this is my brother. You see, that has gone now. And now you are pure soul vision wise and with everybody in the relative aspects, wherever relatively you are, you see everybody as a relative relation. Do you follow? By relative. That is how we say. So how many whole world you don't have? Hardly 10, 15,000 and that to closest aspects for 50, 100 or not more. So you have not to conquer the world, you have to settle only so many accounts and that is not a big task. This is how to, for our infiniteness to open out blissful state. The task is so small, it is not very big, but because now vision is there, you will reach. Otherwise, whole world is after this. Do you understand? You might master the scriptures of the whole world, nothing can happen. Unless your legs touch bottom of the ocean, you cannot pass through the ocean. No. In spite of all the scripture and all knowledge of the world together. No. People can be found to be drowned in a small vessel water. Then what to talk of ocean with such intellectual knowledge? Because the very basis of the knowledge is intellect, which is perishable, destructible. Do you follow? And now you are totally free from that as imperishable, non-changeable, pure soul, vision-wise, pure soul. Listen, that way that accountability, squaring up is there, that's all. Squaring up does not mean that we are doing our bit. No, it is not that. It is just like a drama, that in drama you have come and whatever we have to display dramatic feelings, not real ones. You follow now? That is. Because the moment you start displaying real life feelings, that sort of attachments will come and so many things will come. In spite of it, do not mean to hurt anybody. Because of the attachment aspect, the hurting aspects will come. The attachment. Oh, Jai Satchidananda. Do you follow? Ranjit there?
Yes.
You? Okay? So last, fifth sentence I will come to now. I have told you in details 4 sentences. What are they? Tell me please.
My relatives.
2 viewpoints.
My relatives.
Right.
I am David.
Correct.
Eagle.
Right. Real.
Real.
Pure soul. There's 2. Out of 4 sentences, they are the 2 sentences. First 2. Viewpoints. The third one.
Is that sort of like everything is
scientific, circumstantial, evidential, that cosmic power. That will, whatever in life happen, in the life now, that will be not of my making or making it happen, but it is happening through that, where my accountability aspects are connected there. It is like a puppet operation. So we are nothing but puppets, operated puppets. You see? Operated puppet means there is no operator like that, but it's a natural functional power. You see? Natural functional power. You see? So because of the connection, whatever connections are in store there, so long as that storage is there, it goes on getting. The more, as and when mind, thinking wise, intellect wise, whatever power is getting filtering out, that power is gone. You see? But out of ignorance, another power gets charged, and whatever charged, those physical aspects, building blocks, life building blocks, gets fed there. And what was fed there out of our past life, ignorance aspect, that is the resulting out in this life. Now, it is happening as per that. We don't own it now. You see? We don't own it whatever happens in the life. We just, second, inside we understand. Outside we act in a dramatic display of feelings. Do you follow? That is our third one. Then what is fourth one?
wants to balance our accounts or
Accounts, all have relative accounts, you see. And basic account number one is this body aspect, mind, speech and body assembly. You see. So freedom has to be got from the effective aspect of the mind, speech and body. Do you follow? Whatever in causal form that was charged and fed into that cosmic power is getting discharged out, phased out in this life through this body. So it is the total freedom and independence that we can get is from these aspects. You see, not any other aspects other than these, though they are there in a relative way, no doubt. But basic aspect is this. Do you follow? And that is how it goes on happening. And with this vision, in a matter of few lives, because these are the adverse times, so immediately it's very difficult to get this emptied out, phased out fully. But majority of it will be phased out. And whatever balance will be there, that will make you higher forms and phasing out all the rest of it totally, and it will all your own infinite blissful state. You see? You follow? So that is fourth accounts. And fifth one, last now. Now, on the day of the realization itself, as we told you, that our real perpetual pure soul account has opened up. So whatever life will be passing out and phasing out from now onward, that is from the time when you got realized, will be on account of this pure soul vision wise living. You see? So that account has opened. Till now it was not open. We were always living on the basis of relative account of Ranjit Bhai. You see? Which is relative, destructible, you follow? And not to our ownership. It is as per that cosmic power operated account. Just as we say that Alexander could not take that, he realized, but much late. That whatever in the life activities we do from the life day in, day out, right the morning to night, and not getting any time, all the time full of activity. And yet, at the end everybody realizes that nothing can go with anybody. You follow? Except whatever is done by him on negative side or positive side. It is extremely difficult in these times to see accumulation of positive sides to a accountable measure. It's very difficult because times are by itself are such. So all these aspects go and the suffering one has to pass through. Now we have been made free from that and our pure soul vision account has opened up, which is not subject to credit and debit at all. It is singularly credit account. You follow? Pure soul vision account is a singularly credit account. That is how this pure soul vision wise whatever life will go on, your pure soul vision account go on getting accumulated, and it will go with you and lead you to higher forms and totally realize and make you free in total. You follow? So that is the fifth one. So in the life, in the daily activities, whatever free time we get, free time in the sense one activity is there and we have to start some other activity where as per our accountability we have to be in that activity. In between, whatever time you get is called free time. You understand? There is no other free time in the life, let me tell you. Now you realize with this vision, otherwise it is very difficult to find. Even though there is full of time is there, oh no time. You see, this is how your pure soul vision accountability and that alertness will remain with you and you will utilize that free time to the account of pure soul. Do you follow? And you sit aside, okay, oh, right from the morning till the lunch time, we passed so many hours in so many related activities and aspects. Oh, here it so happened, there so happened. But it was wonderful that all of the activities, such pure soul vision prevailed. You see, that my own real pure soul vision prevailed. And though there were relative activities were there, which were trying to pull this so many things, yet it prevailed. But at one incident, it did happen that in spite of my remaining in pure soul vision, that force was very powerful. And for a moment I felt, oh, this did to me. Oh, that was wrong. So now I have got free time now, let me correct it. Oh no. It was, whatever for a moment I thought that it was due to some other's activity, no, it was my accountability. And just for a moment, it was hazy for me to see pure soul within him. Oh, now I correct it. Oh, pure soul within you, I correct before you regarding this activity. So you also correct it because pure soul vision wise you are separate. Gauri is separate, and therefore with that pure soul vision you can correct your own mistakes. Otherwise not a mistake, neither can you visualize. Then where is the question of correcting it or obliviating it? You follow? We can find mistakes and faults in everybody, but nobody can ever find one's own fault or mistake, let me tell you. Is it true? Yes. Ranjit Bhai? The moment you start realizing, visualizing your own mistakes happening, it is your infinite blissful state that to a start that goes on getting opened out within you. Unless that happens, it can never open out. You see? So that will go on happening now. So during the day, such times, you try to, in these 5 sentences, 2 viewpoint wise, try to just like that. And that will be all to pure soul account. Today you have come, Arvind told me, Ranjit Bhai told me, we have to meet. I got that message in New Zealand also. That okay, definitely. And he told me we are 2 days. And this particular day was fixed. Actually, it was to happen some other place. I never realized, and I promised him. In Heights Sati Pili. Dhyan nathi. Ashok Shesne Rola Heights. I did not realize. Then I had told him, no, we will be meeting here. Okay. So this is how it happened. Now, it is not of my making, is it? See, this is how it has happened. You follow? This is cosmic, scientific circumstances and evidences. Only whatever we are to be here and this picture is here, is there and that has to be there. That is how it is now. It is not out of anybody's imagination or anybody's management. No. It's natural. You sitting there, previously there, then coming here, it's natural. When we say bring chair, we cannot say, oh, we told him and he brought chair and he sat there. No. We cannot own it. Isn't it? Understand? Ranjit Bhai? That's the. And now you will experience in your own life like that. We have experienced. We have experienced. My experience of 32 years since my getting realized through his infinite blissful state in such a ordinary stature. His stature opening out is wonderful. But in these adverse times, that is the greatness of this world, that we have got this great grip. We have not, nobody has to claim that such a high soul has taken birth here or somebody has taken, no. So for such a high state to get opened out, it is not subject to anybody's ownership or claim. No. It's a natural event and happening. And that is very difficult for ordinary folk to understand. That is the mystery of the whole life, that such evolved state comes, goes out. But let me tell you that what you have realized there, it is there. The same state is here before you. His grace and our experience. Our experience and grace on you. And now your experience will be opening out as per living out these 5 sentences. Okay? Now Arvind is waiting since long for telling everybody the time is there for us for this relative number 5 to attend to what he wishes. Okay, so that is the what you are going to offer.
We will take, if we can, a half an hour break for prasad. I'm sure.
Yes. That means with our closed eyes, whatever is before us, we'll say, "Oh, divine angels, please." શું કહીએ આરો ઇંગ્લિશમાં?
Take the essence portions.
Take essence portions of this food 5 times, and then we see. So that food becomes faultless for us, innocent for us. But actually, what happens? All angels, they do not have gross food. Let me tell you, they do not have bodies like these. Though they are with bodies, but their bodies are fog-like. Though with a definite form, but they can change any number of forms, some forms, and powers are vast. That does not mean that vastness of that infinite state is there. No, it is on physical plane that is there. It is the sort of suffering which is out of positive actions in human life gathered together and suffering out there. It is a jail, nothing. But it is a jail of getting put into a palace and telling them, you are given this palace, you have got so many billions, and you have got this area, you cannot come out, you will send it there. It's like that only. You understand? It's all subject to. Not independence is not there. Independency, only human form is the only form where you can strike the balance between the dual forces of the life with the real vision that is realized within you now. You see, that is how the squaring of there comes, the balancing. And that experience has to be within, in the very presence of the duality aspects of the body that are fading out. You see, you have to taste the sugar cube as sugar when it is put in the mouth and you taste, oh, sugar is so sweet. How sweet? Oh, sweet, I cannot describe it. I cannot describe it. For that, you have to taste it. Is it not so? Descriptions are in textbooks and all the books. That for that you have to go there. But the taste has to be experienced, right? So, okay. So eater, gross food will be eaten by the eater, and we as non-eater will be knowing and seeing as to what Gauri is tasting and saying, oh, this is sweet. So we will know the sweetness, and the Gauri's tongue will taste this sweetness. It is the function of the tongue, not ours. Do you understand? It is sweet, bitter, etc. Okay, chalo. Avi gaya idhar. Chalo.
We will take about a half an hour break, and then we'll have more satsang.
Meditation is not the result of activity. It is the result of a realized state that constantly becomes in nature. You see? Understand? That is how. And the two unique aspects of that dhyan, it is called, are relative wise, this 5 wise, and real pure soul wise, there is nothing there. I as pure soul of so many attributes, I am soul. To be with the infinite blissful state, the new state. આવી ગયા રાજેન્દ્રભાઈ? અરે જોજો ભાઈ ભાઈ electrical engineering. Actually he was to be a doctor, but after he got medicine in engineering college, he got that call for admission into medicine. So he said, no, now already I have got it, I live with that. That is how it happened. See the Vyavasthit order, that is the cosmic scientific, circumstantial, evidential order, that is how it's functioning. Is it so? Then he passed, and in that stage he had already met Dada.
Yeah, just a year before.
Year before, last year, graduation just before, and he was in it, in his realized state. Then it so happened that he said, no, being only single graduation will not have, let me have masters. So he got the forms, everything for that, master in engineering. But he said, now having met Dada and having realized my state perpetual, one thing that was wonderful thing that happened within him is that whatever is to happen in life for us, to be active that way in any phase, first thing should be to ask Dada, Dada, this is how it happens within me, and I feel I should do this way, that way. I want to have your divine light and guidance in this. Right?
Yeah.
And he approached. What is this? But Dada, I have got these college forms and all this. Put aside now. What do you want this for? And then he decided, what he says, it is fine for me, that's all. That was his decision.
Yeah.
He said, put it aside. Do, when you have realized your state, complete it. That is the function and the value of life. Having realized, life becomes most invaluable to live in that state. Every breath of it. It is not that we are breathing, but now we know that breather breathes and we are all the time with the breather. You see, unless there is somebody to look after us, how can we be guided? No. Then we have to rely on others. Please take care of it. Please take care of it. We have to have a guide outside. But that guide now is within you, your own you as divine light. It is called Prajna. Prajna Brahman. Prajna. It is a technical word in our Sanskrit language. But Prajna means English, what shall we call it? Divine, kindly leading light. In the poem they say, no? What do they say? I read some regarding divine vision within. So his constant that is opened out, that opened out state will guide you in all life, in your all relative functions. Will guide you. Hey, look here, Ranjit, this is that, constantly. You see, it's a divine watch over all the relative activities, may it be at mind level, speech level, or any of the gross body level. It's constant. For a moment, because of the discharging force, one may feel that, oh, it happens to me. But immediately after some time it will happen. No, it has happened to Ranjit, not me. Because of the force I felt like that it is happening to me, but it is Ranjit. Oh, pure soul that is within, that is opened out. This is the Ranjit happening, and I am soul. So the correction will be there. Likewise, if because of you with somebody in interaction, some hurting or something happens which is generating aspect of certain vibrations, you will after some time realization you will open out, then you will have correction process, and keeping the pure soul of the other one in your view as pure soul, you open out before that pure soul, accept your mistake, repent for it before the pure soul and before the relative one, and ask for forgiveness from the pure soul within, directly, without any intermediary. Because intermediaries are commission agents.
Commission agents.
It's a direct dealing now. And it's yours, use, and let the divinity open out with you. Okay. Was he okay? We wish that he becomes ready to be for all the and other. Okay. After I come back, we'll meet once again. In last week of October. You come to know. Okay. Yes. There cannot be no distance, no time, no situation can make us remain away from you. We can be with you anywhere, irrespective of time, distance. And likewise, you can also experience like that. You see? That will open out now. You see? I can experience myself as a realized state within as well as within everybody, irrespective of form. Maybe human form, maybe creature form, maybe angel form, maybe hellish form, whatever form, but I am with all of those forms as my own self-identity, as well as the same identity within all these forms in my experience state. You see? So, nobody can insult me. How can I insult myself to me? You see? So that will be your experience. It will open up gradually. We will also go now.
There are some books in English.
Yes. Okay. Pardon?
You said you want to write something.
Yes. તમારી પાસે વિસ્ફુલનું એનું છે પેલું એ આપો. Today I am here. I will give you one write-up that when I had been to Nigeria some time back, and there was an interview with me, and there are some questions that asked regarding this, and he had answered. And there also we have given, but sometimes he will give you now what it is. That will get later. And you got one English book? You
No,
take it from there. Take it from there. અહીંયા લઈ આવજો પછી તમે દિયાન ઇંગ્લિશ કઈ છે?
Just
No,
everywhere.
no, you just
Yeah,
see,
that's
and then come.
Just
Huh?
look for 10.
Huh? Chalo. કઈ બુક છે?
Just everywhere.
બેનને આપો થઈ જાય. મને આપું જોઈ રહ્યું છું એમ કર.
ને અહીંયા છે.
હા ઓકે.
There are
ઓકે ઓકે હા વાંધો નહીં આપું ઓકે બસ ડોના. The three mantras we recited last time, you must be remembering. They are given in English version, whatever books were given. I think you have got with you. No. Last time you did not? Sure, not. The next time when I come in October, you do come. Because after that experiment I will give you, that will be helpful. Understand? Today I am giving before that. And that will be. No, that you keep with you.
No.
Yes, it is there. This is what I mean. Those questions, I didn't question. Can you give a copy?
That's just the one I got last time.
Last time you got,
I
okay.
can give anybody a copy. Is that the same?
No, this is same thing. It is same thing is given there. Now, do not look here. These are the day-to-day life, whatever expenses we get in, and in each of the circumstances, this will be helpful to you. Understand? No? Go through all these things. Principles of effective living. Then universal prayer towards self-realization. You go through these three mantras. These three mantras are given. 1, 2 and 3.
Every day?
You follow? Every day. 5 times. One morning and then 1, 2, 3. 1 is big one. Second and fifth. Okay? That explanation is given in English regarding this number 1. This is number 2. This is number 1 explaining solely for all. This is number 2. And this is number 3. Right? Explanation. Then, as revealed by Dada, these 9 priceless diamonds put up under day-to-day living, these are in the form of our projections and along with prayers to Dada Bhagwan, that is the realized state within, which is within us, but not opened out. That means, and that will help. So, projections along with prayers. There are 9 of them dealing each and every facet of our life. A wonderful science it is, even before real. And this is the prayer also, wonderful prayer. So much you keep with you. And one book I give you. Is that correct?
2 ends. It's okay.
Right?
It's okay.
Take this. And this too. Yes, very good question. This is the. So in October you. Very good. Okay. બસ ચાલો હવે આપણે ડુ કમ ઇન ઓકે યુ વોન્ટ યસ સર આપણી પાસે બીજી વધારે પેલી અવોઇડ ક્લાસિસિટી છે જો લાવો આઈ વિલ ગીવ યુ